Hello, Game Day Coaching members. It's Rick Storley with New Home Sales Coach. We're talking about home site demonstration today. This is what I call the first part of creating urgency in your sales process, is when you're able to narrow down the home site selections to what we call the one and only one, or what we call the select one process. So if you have an available home, if you've got a photo gallery, if you have a model home that you're using to sort of build excitement for what you can do, when you walk someone out on the land of where they potentially would live the first time, that's where we have the emotional connection. So the key thing to look at when you're doing a home site demonstration is to make sure that you only show someone about 1 to 3 home sites. We don't want to confuse them. And if you have, say, a neighborhood that has 10, 15, or 20 available, obviously there's no urgency to that. So if we use our needs analysis and we find out specifically what they want on a home site as far as basement type, what their views are, what perhaps direction it faces, if it's near amenities, on a cul-de-sac, that sort of thing, we can bring it down to, say, 1 or 2 opportunities, and therefore we create scarcity, which creates urgency. So to properly demonstrate a home site is going to take about 15 to 30 minutes, and you're going to need what we call a toolbox, or some things. We're going to have about 4 large cones that you might see, like roadside cones, and 8 small cones you might say like on a playground. The 4 large cones are going to outline where your property corners are. The 8 small cones are going to identify the building envelope. You probably need about a 200-foot measuring tape unless you are out on acreage and something much, much larger, but 200 foot will normally get you by. I also recommend having a can of ground marking spray paint. You want a compass. You want to make sure you have 3 raincoats available to you, 3 or 4 raincoats in case it is raining, even some slip-on boots that people can wear over their shoes in case it's muddy. Bug spray is a must. A laminated plat and grading plan in case it's raining out. And then you want to have a plastic sleeve, say, where you can put your home dimensions in. And a lot of you maybe just have a typical size home that you build as far as width and depth. You need to know that. Garden spades, some plastic bags, a digital camera or a camera on your phone, business cards, and of course the most important here, the home site reservation form. Process works like this. We are going to go through and point out a feature benefit statement for each part of the demonstration. Get some involvement questions going, an alternative choice, and a minor close. So this is how the demonstration works. Let me see if I can back this down a little bit. Yeah, here we go. This is numbered from 1, 2, 3, and so on. So what we want to do is make sure you park your car at one corner or the next. Never park in the middle of the home site, but you want to park it here and then walk potentially to the home site. So in this case, you park your car here. Demonstration point is number 1. We're going to put one of the prospects holding the tape as far as with the dimensions end, and you take the dumb end of the tape with the other prospect and give that prospect the dimensions to the home site. So you're going to say, okay, Mr. Prospect, tell me what's the dimension for the width here? Okay, well, it's 85. So you walk over here and say, okay, Mr. or Mrs. Prospect is over here. Tell me when we get to 85 feet. So I'm going to start by dropping a cone here and a cone here to signify my front 2 corners. Then I'm going to leave one prospect here and I'm going to pivot and I'm going to walk diagonally with the other prospect. Okay, what is the depth on in this case, let's say the east side? All right, well, that's 150. Okay, tell us when we get to 150. Boom, drop it on the cone. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to ask this person who's been standing here to walk with me over to these points. And then we're going to mark this back corner. Now at that point, I will come forward and we're going to start marking front yard setbacks. So whatever the distance is from the front property line to where the minimum house setback is here. Do the same thing on the other side, and then finally I will measure in my side yard setbacks, and so I've got the building envelope. Then I'm going to walk them right through the home as it lays out, and I'm going to ask them what they think of the views, what they think of the yard size. When that gets done, I'm going to simply ask them to think about it for a while, pick up everything. I'm going to go back, I want to snap a photo of them, and I'm going to use a 1 to 10 close. So tell me, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 meaning this home site doesn't work at all and 10 meaning it's perfect, where would you say you're at? Once they say they're at a 6, 7, 8, or 9, I'm going to ask what it takes to be a 10. I'll deal with that objection, and I'll ask them for the reservation. Happy selling.